I hit $10 million in profit before I turned the age of 30. And in this video here today, I'm going to break down exactly how I did it. No fluff, no shortcuts, just the complete strategy that took me from zero to multi-millionaire entrepreneur in my 20s by mastering online business. And if this sounds a little bit too hard to believe, if I sound like another guy just randomly talking out of my butt on YouTube, here's a screenshot from one of my Stripe accounts. So if you want to become an online entrepreneur, watch this video because I'm going to reveal everything that I did, everything that worked and everything that didn't, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did and you can shortcut your way to success. So let's turn back the clock to when I was 20 years old. That's when I initially got interested in entrepreneurship and online business. And the reason why I got interested is because I realized how much debt I was going into when I was going to college. So I was studying business at a university in Canada, and my debt soared from zero to $40,000, over $40,000, probably $45,000 within 2 years. And I thought to myself, the starting salaries of these jobs when I graduate, if I even get a job, are barely 40, 50K, right? And after taxes, how long is it going to take me to pay off my student loans before I can even get to 0.0 where I can actually start building any kind of wealth? And so right then and there, I started to suspect that the game was rigged against me. And if you've been feeling this way, you likely are sharing the same thoughts. You likely are sharing the same feelings, and that's why you're watching this video. So I went on this epic journey to figure out, okay, how do I actually break free from this matrix before it was even called the matrix, right? One day I went to the gym with my gym buddy, and my buddy told me about this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. My initial response was, if it was as easy as reading a book, then everybody would be rich. And so I didn't really pay attention to it. But then a couple days passed and I decided, you know what? I'm going to actually check this out. And it turned my entire world upside down. It taught me that most people, they follow poor dad's advice and they don't follow rich dad's advice. So in the book, there's two dads, rich dad and poor dad. And basically, poor dad's advice, he's just a university professor. He's a saver. You know, he has the white picket fence and the house with the mortgage. Whereas the rich dad, he operates businesses. He's an entrepreneur. And that was the reality. I was like, okay, so I know that I have to be an entrepreneur, but how do I start making money? Because I didn't have any kind of income streams to start with, I started to work on the only thing that I could change. And that was my mindset. I knew that I was programmed to live a life of pretty much poverty. So most people, they might not look poor outwardly, but in terms of assets, they're very asset poor. They don't have any assets whatsoever. Anybody who's living paycheck to paycheck, which is most people in society, they are poor, but they might not look poor because they live on credit. But if you live on credit, you're poor because you're at the mercy of the bank, you're at the mercy of the economy, you're at the mercy of the next pandemic or the government, right? And so true riches, true wealth is when you are asset rich and when you have income streams that are coming in independent of selling your time for them. And I began to really learn this in the books that I was reading. By the way, you can find my top books list to get rich in the description below. So I was working on my mindset, I was reading all these books, and I began to become obsessed. So I was constantly listening to these audiobooks, by all these big entrepreneurs like Grant Cardone, and then of course the Napoleon Hill books and the Law of Attraction. And I started to put everything into practice. And that's when I stumbled on Amazon FBA. I saw a kid on YouTube in a tank top, and he said that he just bought a Lamborghini with his Amazon FBA earnings, and he was about my age. And I thought to myself, I don't really want a Lamborghini, but that's amazing. And clearly he's making a lot of money. So, I can do this too. He's just like me. And so that was my first scalable business model. At the time, I didn't know what that was, but I realized, okay, so this is a way for me to make money. So that was actually the first step of my entire strategy of making $10 million prior to 30. So I knew that with Amazon FBA, all I had to do was find a product, follow the steps, figure out how to brand it, make sure that it meets all the criteria, and then chances were pretty high that I would succeed. And so that's exactly what I did. And I loved it because I didn't have to hold any inventory or deal with the logistics myself. And so once that succeeded, and it wasn't without its obstacles, I had a few failures, which, they were good because they taught me resilience at the very beginning. That's when I ventured into other business models. So I kept adding on other scalable business income streams at the same time as I was adding Amazon products to my Amazon account, and I was building my brand there. So that's when I started to run a YouTube channel, because honestly, it was less about the money and more so about sharing what was working. There was a lack of entrepreneur YouTubers at the time, especially young ones, and I noticed that, and so I wanted to become one of them, and I'm still here, and I'm really happy about that, to be sharing this with you. And I still think it's only the beginning. And so as I was making videos on these tutorials on Amazon and what was working, people were asking me to share the tools that were working. So I became a top affiliate marketer for Jungle Scout for Shopify over time as I got into Shopify. And I also launched my e-commerce courses, which went on to make even more money. And so that's the key here. The key here is that I picked one business model, and then I made sure to stick with it until it hit a respectable income, so at least $10,000 a month. And then once the business model was consistently making money without me having to put in more than 10 or 20 hours a week of work, then I added on another business model. So I didn't try to grow a bunch of different income streams at the same time. I just added on one at a time as each one became successful. And so my path from basically zero to over 10 million went like this. I started with Amazon FBA. I started to make multiple six figures with Amazon FBA. By the way, these are my results. They're not a guarantee that you're going to make the same amount. It all depends on the time and effort that you put into the business. And as I made YouTube videos and YouTube tutorials, I started to make ad revenue. I started to become a top affiliate marketer, which is promoting existing products and making a commission. So I became a top affiliate marketer for Jungle Scout, which is a top Amazon tool that I used to gain success with Amazon. I became a top affiliate marketing partner of Shopify, and then a Shopify certified coach I became later on. And then I launched my paid courses. And at that same time, I hired a team to help me scale all aspects of my business. And so the key here is scalability. You need to pick a business model that is infinitely scalable without you having to be involved in every single sale. For example, with Amazon, I could sell 10,000 units of a product without having to ship a single box myself. With my online courses, I can teach thousands of students without having to be in a classroom. And that's the power of scale. And it's the power of the internet. I call it the zero marginal cost economy. So what the zero marginal cost economy is, to put it simply, is, especially with digital courses and affiliate marketing, it does not cost me anything extra in cost of goods to sell an additional copy of my course or to promote or get an additional affiliate sale, right? I can get 1,000 affiliate sales or 10,000. It makes no difference to me because getting those affiliate sales only involves me making the good videos and things like that. People click on the link and they, I make the money, right? And it's the same thing with the courses. Obviously with Amazon, that doesn't fall into the zero marginal cost economy because with Amazon, for every sale that I make, I obviously have to pay that money in cost of goods. But because I follow a method called the high profit brand method, I exclusively only sell products that can have a really high profit margin. And there are plenty of those out there. In fact, a lot more than you think. It's just that the wrong strategies are being taught on YouTube. Now, the one thing that allowed me to scale so quickly to 10 million is I was not arrogant enough to say, you know what, I'm going to try to figure this out for free without investing in myself. I chose to invest in myself. I bought the books, I bought the paid courses, I bought the mentorship packages that were available at the time. And they are the reason that I got to where I got in that amount of time, because I took what worked and I emulated it and I improved on it. And that's exactly my best advice for you. Don't just copy what works, take what works and improve on it. It works for a reason. Don't reinvent the wheel. But more specifically, I'm talking about investing in paid courses. If you want to make millions of dollars, you cannot be stingy and you have to learn from people who have already done what you're trying to do. And with the power of the internet, there's never been a time before where these people, like myself, millionaires, are willing to share the information that has made them rich for a few $100 or maybe in some cases a few thousand. I'm not a fan of courses that cost thousands of dollars personally, so I've always tried to keep my courses cheaper just because, I don't want to make it super expensive inherently for people. But you have to be a student of success. And the best way nowadays is just to pay a few $100 for a course. It's mind-boggling to me that people will still go to college and pay $30,000, $50,000 or more, and they can't invest in, into themselves, into a course that has great reviews and that's been around for a while with a proven track record. And education never stops. Even today, I'm still learning, I'm reading books, I'm investing in new skills. I'm still finding ways to optimize my business. I talk to ChatGPT every single day, asking it for new ideas to improve my business and improve what I'm doing. And it's really helpful. One more very important aspect of me reaching 10 million so quickly is that I created high value offers. Whether it's a product or a service, whatever you're selling has to solve a real problem for people and it has to be better than what's already out there. And I made sure to do that with my Amazon products, with my courses, with my YouTube videos. I don't just copy, I make stuff that's better than others. And that's the reason for where I'm at. For my Amazon FBA business, I focused on finding products that were trending but not yet super saturated. And I didn't want to just sell any product. I wanted to sell something that added real value to people's lives, not just gimmicks that you can find from the dollar store. Then when I launched my course business, I applied the same principle. I didn't just create a course for the sake of creating a course because I wanted to make money off my audience. I created the best course possible on how to succeed with Amazon FBA with, at the time, a very first thing that was in the Amazon FBA industry was unlimited mentorship. I was the one that was the first one to sell unlimited mentorship, one-on-one DM mentorship, and that's really what set me apart. You have to over-deliver on value if you want people to choose your offer over somebody else's. After that, that's where audience, automation, and diversification come into play. If you have the best product in the world and nobody knows about it, it will simply not sell. That's why the next step in building a brand in any offer is to build an audience. Now on Amazon, you don't have to build an audience because if you have a great offer, the algorithm will do the work for you. But still, if you learn how to build an audience, and that can apply to Amazon, to Shopify, to selling courses if you want to do that, whatever it is that you want to do, it's such a powerful tool. And that's the reason why I was able to scale scale so efficiently, because for my Amazon product and also for my courses especially, I was able to leverage an audience and I was able to sell in mass. I focused on building email lists. So I had a massive email list, over 300,000 emails over the past 7 years, just from people signing up for my free value offers online on my YouTube channel. Every single one of those emails made me money. There's something in the marketing world called revenue per email. Right now, I could literally send an email out and make thousands of dollars just at the click of a button if I want to. Then we have automation, and that's where I started to hire a team. I delegated tasks, and I made sure to hire and keep the right people and fire the people that were the wrong fit. At the beginning, it was virtual assistants. Then I hired people that were from Canada, from the US. And even though I had to fire a lot of people, I ended up with a very nice lean team now where everybody is very good at what they do and everybody's incentivized properly. And so I only focus on the things that I do best, which is creating content and managing my Amazon account. I don't focus on anything else really. I didn't try to do everything myself. I wanted to build a machine that could generate money even when I wasn't actively working. And that's how I was able to scale to over 8 figures. If you want to hit big numbers, you have to create systems that allow your business to grow without you having to be there every second. And finally, diversification. If my Amazon account gets shut down for whatever reason, I still have my courses, I still have my affiliates, I still have my YouTube channel, right? And I have some other businesses as well. So that's the beauty of online business. You can stack all these different income streams. Think of it as a video game, right? And the more income streams you stack, it's like a farm, the more money you're making. It's really fun. So there you have it, the exact steps that I used to make over 10 million in profit by age of 30. If you want to know how to start right now, how I actually built these income streams with full tutorials on every single one of them, then check out my free 10K Freedom course. The link for it is down below. It's completely free. There's no hidden upsells. I made that free course specifically for you, and it will show you a step-by-step process so that you can start making money today, and it will also clear any doubts that you have about which business you should start. Click that link in the description to get started on your path to freedom. And if you learned something from my story of how I got up to 10 million in profit by the age of 30, and you got some value from this video, then please consider subscribing and liking my video. Turn on the notification bell to get the notifications every time that I post a video, and I go live every single Saturday for mentorship sessions on this channel for live Q&As. Thank you so much, and I hope that you achieve freedom as well.